We all know Chelsea like to hoard talented youngsters, only to dump them out on loan for half their life. Mostly the Vitesse Arnhem, who honestly seem to have an unhealthy obsession with Chelsea youngsters. You'd swear Gary Glitter was the club scout or something. But let's take a look at the winner of every Chelsea Young Player of the Year award and see where they are now. 2005, Robert Huth. You just know Robert Huth was the fella at Leicester City who kept reminding everyone, you know lads, I already won this league twice already. To be fair, Huth contributed as much to those title wins as a wet sock, with Terry, Carvalho and Gallas all way ahead of him in the pecking order. He moved to UEFA Cup finalist Middlesbrough in 2006. 3 years later they were travelling to Scunthorpe away. Then off he went to spend 6 seasons at Stoke before getting spat out to Leicester in 2014. Probably some of the best £3 million that club has ever spent. 2006, Lassana Diarra. Lassana Diarra is the most impatient man in football. He just is. If he'd stayed a year or two later, he'd probably have carved out a decent career at Chelsea. But no, he got bored of sitting on the bench playing Lampard and Mancienne and so demanded a move to Arsenal in 2007. Smart move, you know, Champions League club under a man responsible for bringing through some of the best French players in modern football. No, 7 appearances later he's screaming at his agent to get him another move. To Portsmouth. The embarrassing thing for Wenger is that he won more silverware at Fratton Park than he ever would have at Arsenal. Tottenham tried to sign him, despite his first name bearing resemblances to the food that subsequently wrecked their bowels and Champions League hopes. 5 years at Real Madrid were next, and then 3 out in Russia, then Marseille for a couple of years, and then Al Jazeera for 5 games. And finally, at the age of 33, he somehow managed to bag himself and move to PSG. That man's agent probably swims in a bath of signing on fees every night before bed. 2007, John Obi Mikel. It all started with a kidnapping. John Obi Mikel was technically a former Man United player and went on to score 1 goal in 249 league appearances for Chelsea. A much maligned figure at Stamford Bridge, he must have been doing something right the last 10 years there. He currently plays for Tianjin Teda alongside a bunch of nobodies who probably get confused with the offside rule out the back arse of China. 2008, the Under-18s youth team. Well, in 2008 this award went straight to the Under-18s youth team, and I'm not going to go through the whole team. We'd be here all day, so let's just move on. 2009, Michael Mancienne. It's quite disappointing how it turned out for Michael Mancienne. There were big hopes for the England underage international, but he was effectively shoved in the back of the cupboard at Stamford Bridge before finally being sold to Hamburg in 2011. He's since taken in 4 years in Nottingham Forest, and now at the age of 30, he's already out in America with New England Revolution. 2010, the Under-18s youth team. Again, the Under-18s won it again in 2010, so I'm just going to skip that entirely. 2011, Josh McCleary. Josh McCleary spent 14 years in the books at Chelsea, made 11 appearances, and moved to 5 clubs on loan. By the time he was getting wheeled out to Vitesse in 2014, he was probably ready to pack it in. Thankfully he did, signing for Brentford on a permanent basis in 2015, where he's done alright, but at least he's not being led on by a club who have no intention of ever using him. 2012, Lukas Piazon. You might not think it, but Lukas Piazon is still at Chelsea. Another fellow who's had his Stamford Bridge career strangled to death by a series of loan deals. The 24-year-old Brazilian winger signed for them in 2011 and has just 1 Premier League appearance to his name. And even that was 6 years ago, where he missed a penalty. I mean, they still won 8-0, so it didn't really matter, but it seems harsh that that was his last involvement in a Chelsea kit, and it's so goddamn long ago. He most recently spent 2 years on loan at Fulham. 2013, Nathan Ake. Nathan Ake is another man who had common sense to actually get out of Chelsea, and is paying off after a £20 million switch to Bournemouth in June 2017. It was a brave move from Ake, considering he was far more in Chelsea's plans than Piazon ever was. For God's sake, he just played an FA Cup semi-final. 2014, Lewis Baker. Lewis Baker has made 1 first-team appearance for Chelsea, again being shoved out on a bunch of loan deals, including MK Dons, Middlesbrough, Vitesse Arnhem. I swear to God, that club are like the hungry dog waiting patiently for you to feed them scraps from the table. The 23-year-old midfielder is currently on loan at Leeds. Bit of advice for you, Lewis. Get the hell out of Stamford Bridge. You are older than Ruben Loftus-Cheek. This does not bode well for you. 2015, Kurt Zouma. For a while there, it looked like Kurt Zouma was Chelsea's future. Now it looks like he's soon to be the very distant past that everyone will soon have forgotten about. He made over 50 appearances in his first 2 seasons at the club, winning the league, but since then it's been a downward slope, being relegated on loan at Stoke before getting shipped out to Everton on a temporary basis. 2016, Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Ruben Loftus-Cheek has been at the club since 2004. You can see why he doesn't want to leave. According to his dad, he was held back under Jose Mourinho, didn't play much, and was spat out on loan to Crystal Palace last season. The fact he still got in England's World Cup squad is testament to what a good player he is, and despite spending most of this season in a shoebox under the stairs, he still has 5 goals to his name, including a hat-trick. 2017, Mason Mount. Mason Mount is a 19-year-old midfielder who's been at Stamford Bridge since he was 6 years old. He's already bagged 5 goals and 20 appearances at Derby County this season, under the tutelage of arguably Chelsea's greatest midfielder of all time, and apparently ran the show at Stamford Bridge earlier this season. Another Vitesse Arnhem veteran. That club seriously have a problem. This man might just squeeze out a future at Chelsea. Either that or he'll be the next Josh McCleary and on course to be 15th in the championship by the time he's 25.